Hey there, Luxbabes. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about pros and cons of living alone. As many of you may know, I've been living alone for a very long time and I absolutely love it. But it happens to be one of the things that I get the most questions about. It was kind of neck to neck with the video that I made previously. I'm going to link it up here, talking about things that you need for your first apartment. Anyway, if you're ready for this video, let's get into it. All right, we're gonna start with the pros first because I'm a positive person. I can only think of 4 for each, so I'm sure I'll think of more later on and I can always add it in the comments. Okay, the first thing is very obvious, freedom, right? So if you used to live with your parents and you finally have your own place, you don't have anybody telling you what to do. Not when to go to bed, not how to keep the house, not when to do the dishes, not when to do your laundry, or whatever have you. You have all the freedom that you want. Same goes for if like you're in a relationship or you were living with a roommate. You guys may have had separate rooms, but if you were sharing the same common areas like the living room and the kitchen, chances are you don't know the freedom of living alone, and it's very great. So I guess this is kind of like a 1B, it's a bonus. This means if you're a clean freak and you absolutely have to have things in a very neat and orderly manner, then you are in your own paradise right now because there's no one else's cleanliness that you have to deal with. Your house is gonna be as clean or as dirty as you keep it. For example, my personal pet peeve, dirty sinks. Some people don't care about this. Some people can leave their dishes in there for an entire week while it piles up and don't think anything of it. I cannot stand it. So I always knew that having a roommate would be out of that for me. Because sometimes I know things happen, you know, and we have to go, we're in a rush or whatever. It would bother me. There's nothing worse than moving out of your parents' house and still having to have someone tell you how to live. And I would absolutely be that roommate that has to draw that boundary. Like, girl, you can't be having the sinks looking like this. All right, number 2, it teaches you independence, right? So again, if you've been used to relying on mom and dad for everything, you're just like having to handle everything now. At the very least, your bills will teach you how to be organized, right? Number 3 is more creative allowance to decorate as you please. Again, if you're living with someone, you kind of have to come to a common ground, or if it's your parents, it's just whatever they choose to decorate the house with. Your room is about as much as you're ever going to be able to decorate. So that's the cool thing about living alone. It's literally your entire space to do whatever you want. That's pretty cool for people that are really into decor, or some people that just don't like anything on their walls or nothing around them. They just want that plain minimal look. It works out because it's yours. You can do whatever you want. All right, last but not least, silence. This one's very important. If you are one of those people that really values the sound of nothing, living alone is gonna be a dream for you, right? You don't have to worry about loud siblings, people blasting music everywhere, coming home to somebody arguing or whatever. It's literally just you and you and you. It's freaking amazing. Or even if you just work in an industry that's super noisy. So like you work in sales, you do business to business, you're just dealing with customer facing situations, or even just your coworkers sometimes. Maybe you like to come home and unwind and just relax. It's super nice after being on all day to be able to close your door, turn it off, run a bubble bath, light a candle, read a book, relax, whatever you like, right? It's pretty dope. Now we're gonna get into the cons. Number 1 is silence. I know I said it was a pro, but the con to that is that, especially if you're living alone for the very first time, it could be different. You're just not used to not having any activity. Or again, if you have that type of personality that always has to have action going all the time or noise, this might drive you into a wall. The good thing about it is there are podcasts for that. There is TV for that. Sometimes I just let it play in the background just as background noise. There's a lot of things that you can use to counter that. So I still think that it's more a pro than it is a con. You can create noise for a quiet house, but you can't create silence in a noisy house. Like, not when there's other people and you can't control that. Does that make sense? Number 2 is putting things up that require 2 people. You know, whether it's like a cool little art piece that you just bought, whether you're installing like fixtures, anything that requires 2 people, you'll remember very quickly, like, dang. Again, if you live around the corner from your family or are still in the same city and people volunteer to come help you, it's nice. But if it's one of those things where you need it on the whim, you really start to feel it. Again, there are many apps Angie is one of them, previously known as Angie's List, where you can find handyman to do those kind of things. It's just nice. It's just nice to have a helping hand. Maybe you're in the restroom and you run out of tissue. You need to tell the person, can you please hand me some tissue? You're in the shower, you realize that you didn't put up a new towel, you ask for help, those kind of things, you know. Number 3 is obvious, finances. You're paying for everything now, right? You're not splitting anything down the middle. You're not paying a percentage of the bills. Everything now falls on you. Self-explanatory. Number 4, unwanted guests. I'll give you an example. All my siblings are married. Everybody has a spouse. I'm the only one that's single, that lives alone. And what ends up happening is that when people are gonna come visit, they automatically think that my place is the place to crash, because they think she doesn't have a spouse or a roommate or anyone that she needs to consider. All I have to do is just ask her, put her in an uncomfortable situation, and she'll go for it, right? So that's the only con. Your friends and family and whoever else think that your doors are always open because, well, you live alone. And this is the part that you have to set boundaries, but it's still a con nevertheless. And that's it, ladies. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.